Hello? Hello? Here's a sneaky live video. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Phil's Camping Reviews. Let's wait till we get a few people on. Oops. Let's see if I can do that again. Drop the camera. Let's see if we can get a few more on before I start yapping away. I saw Harry's done a sneaky live video before, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a sneaky live video as well. So here I am. It's been a while since I've done a sneaky live video. There we go. Would you believe that is a camera? I've owned this for a very long time. So I'm setting it up. Hello Peter, you're the first one on. Welcome to another video from Phil's Camping Reviews. Been a while since I've been on YouTube. Frankly, I've just been so busy. You know, life goes on, things catch up. Before you know it, it's been over a month since I put a video up. How scary is that? So, hi Tim, how you going? What are you up to today? Not a lot, Peter. Just resting from doing a lot of work. You know, I bought the camper trailer. So I've just been going through and doing all the maintenance on it. As I tell you what, guys, the prior owners to this didn't do it justice. Let it go to a bit of a poor state in areas, particularly with the plumbing and the electrical, and the electrical hasn't been wired up properly. So I've had to redo all that, replace all the wiring, replace the pipes, all the plumbing. And while I was at it, I also installed a really awesome hot water system, guys. Wait till you see the videos I'm going to do on this to show you this hot water system in action. And I've been testing it out every day, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm pretty happy the standard this thing is in now. I just got a few things I just want to clean up, a bit of painting here and there. And then bring her back up to spick and span to at least to my standard, which is pretty high, guys. As you're aware, I look after my gear. And so, yeah, for you guys, if you ever buy anything secondhand off me, you know it's going to be in good condition. Ivan and Lisa, how you going? Yeah, I love the camper trailer as well. It's a lot of fun working on it. It's occupying my time. Although the poor old body, it's not young anymore. It's a bit of a struggle, guys. So I've been spending the past week just resting up, recuperating from crawling underneath. I had to crawl underneath to replace all the water pipes, and adding more water pipes for the hot water system that I've got in it now. And I'll show you, I'll bring the camera over and I'll show you the hot water system and explain to you a little bit about it and some of the fittings that I've got on here. These John Guest, hang on, let me go grab some. I thought a lot of you guys would have already known about the John Guest. The lighting's not really good here, is it? I'll move the camera over shortly, but just let me go grab a few of these John Guest fittings and show you what they are. So just bear with me for a second. So these are what's called a John Guest fitting. Now let's move this camera to somewhere we ain't got so much backlighting. Um, uh, so these are John Guest fittings. Okay, now these John Guest fittings are, well, there are many different types. Actually, let me go grab another set and I'll show you. Give me another second, guys. I had to find where it is. I found it now. Now, these are what's called John Guest fittings. So they're quick connectors, water pipe connectors. These are the standard ones that you mostly see, okay? Now, if you go to specialty stores, like I actually, of all places, I purchased these ones, these white ones. These white ones are better than these ones, especially for hot water. Okay, but even for cold water, these black ones, they're the common ones that you buy at Road Tech Marine, etc. Nothing wrong with them, particularly if you're just using them on cold water. But these white ones are much, much better, guys. These are awesome. And they're specific, actually. Let me show you some of the John Guest pipes. I'll go grab them. So these are sort of different John Guest pipes. And let me grab another one. While I'm here, I'm showing you these. I might as well show you the full lot, the whole lot that you can get. I wasn't planning on this type of video. I was going to film the video like this, a proper edited video, but while I got you on, if you're interested, I'll show you a quick demonstration on these water pipes. So I'm just going to go grab another one. Okay, we can start with a bit of the demo now. So, most of you have probably not heard of John Guest fittings, water pipes, etc. They've been around for years. These are the two more older style, more common ones that you will find around the place that most people tend to use when they're setting up their hot water systems, etc., and cold water systems in the camper trailer. But also caravans, guys, these are used in caravans as well. So they're very rigid and they're colour coded. This one is blue for cold water. This one's red. These pipes are available at Roadtech Marine in Bundaberg. Yeah, the insulation is pretty well crap in the garage here, as you can see. I just try to ignore that. Not the best location, but it's all right. For a live video, it'll do. So these are color coded, but there's another one. There's a white one. Okay, these are available for about, I think they're $3 per meter, or is it $3.95? $2.95 or $3. I think it's $3.95 per meter if you buy these at Roadtech Marine. Okay, and perfectly fine. They're good. But I want to show you another one. And a lot of people that do these professional installs in, you know, where you take your vehicle and they spend like tens of thousands of dollars on setting up the hot water systems with their Duettos and so on. They all use these pipes here, including the red one for the hot water system. But there's a better one to use. Now these are tough, guys. These are tough, okay? But there's a better one to use than these ones here. And overseas in the UK, they're actually using these inside houses with these fittings. Okay, so they're not using the copper pipes like we use here. They're actually using these inside houses. So they're better insulated and they're a lot more tougher. And the fittings for these are also a lot more sturdy. Okay, they are a lot more stronger, and it withstands temperature to 100 degrees Celsius. So it'll withstand boiling water, this one here. Now this one here, I bought this locally. Now it's a bit dearer than the other two that I showed you. These ones here. Okay, now these ones here, these are good to about 65 degrees Celsius. I think they're recommended not to go any more than that. Otherwise, what happens is they can get a bit soft, and then what happens with the type of fittings is they can just poof, they just come off. Okay, and when you're running a lot of these pro installation places are running these pipes with these 12. I'm going to show you shortly my hot water system I've got in this camper that's completed now, that run on about 70 degrees Celsius. Now they're temperature controlled, you can set it lower, but you can run it on 70 degrees Celsius. So basically what it is, it's a hot water system that's similar that you got in your house, except this one can run on 12 volt. The one I've got now is also can be run on 240 volt. The difference between the two is basically it heats up a lot quicker on 240 volt than it does on 12 volt. But I'll show you it shortly. But the one I've got, it's got a 10 litre capacity water system in it. So you might think if you're a family, you know, you've got a family of 4, you're thinking, well, 10 litres, you know, how are you going to, you know, shower with that? That's not going to last long. But that's the thing. The thing runs on 70 degrees Celsius. So you use a mixer as you do in your house. So you use a mixer on your shower rose so that it allows the cold water as well. So instead of having 10 litres of hot water, you got at least double that, like 20 litres of shower. And then if you do run out, you don't have to wait long for it to come up to, particularly shower temp. It doesn't take long, even if you're running on 12 volt, it don't take long to get your 10 litre water up to shower temp. So it is awesome, guys. It is so much better than I thought it would be. So going back to these John Guest fittings, these pipes here, I bought this locally here at the Jayco, okay, of all places. Jayco, if you've got a decent Jayco caravan sales centre, support centre, they sell these because they use these, they prefer to use these ones than these ones, because hence these are more durable, they're more insulated, and they also can withstand 100 degrees Celsius. So you will have absolutely no problems running this cable with this hot water system that gets to 70 degrees Celsius. This one here, you can potentially have problems, and I have heard people do have problems with these where they will disconnect. And it's strange because a lot of professionals, I've noticed, guys, I do my research on stuff like this, you know that. A lot of professionals use these particular John Guest fittings with this hot water system in it, and people are running them at 70 degrees Celsius, and this is not designed to withstand 70 degrees Celsius, guys. So there's this pipe here, and like I said, these fittings, okay, this particular John Guest fitting and these pipes, they use these in the UK inside the houses, the plumbing, instead of using the copper that we do for the hot water. So that just gives you an idea just how secure these are as well. So, and the beauty with these, if I show you here, they're quick fitting. To fit these in, all right, look at this. So there is no soldering, nothing needs to be done. All you do, push that in, that's it. And this one's got additional locking where you can actually screw this in, and it's got these little metal jaws around here that grabs it, and that's locked in place, guys. That will not move, and I guarantee that will not leak. Now, if you've got a problem with your pipe and you've got a leak somewhere, very easy to remove. See that? So virtually all you do, okay, to fit these in, push it in until it's locked, screw this in, locks it in place. That's not going to move. To unlock it, unscrew this lever here, this one here, you've got to push that in. I don't know if you saw that. Push that in, pull apart. All right? That's as simple, that's all you got to do when if you've got to change a hose of some sort. Now this one is a little bit more expensive per metre. I bought it at Jayco and I can't remember how much I paid. It might have been about $6 a metre for this, so it's not cheap. But it's a hose that it's what they should be using when they're hot water side. Not these here, which are not designed for that type of heat. And a lot of people are running them inside their vehicles, you know, the expensive 200s and inside the expensive caravans. Whereas in the future, you've got a potential, I mean, for example, this camper trailer came with, hang on, let me grab the other one, it fell down. Now, originally, also, these are not UV treated as well. These cannot handle UV light, where this one will do, okay? Now, these, throughout the water lines in this camper, when I bought it, had these pipes, and there was leaks everywhere. When I first turned it on, it was like a shower inside my camper. It was leaking that much. They had all these fine little miniatures, pinholes throughout, and it's just... So that's why I had to replace all the lines. So most of it, particularly the hot water lines and lines exposed to the outside, I used this. And I also went to Bunnings and bought a insulated cover, the cover over the top, to keep the water hot inside so you don't have that little burst of cold water wasting water before the hot water comes out as well. I've done that as well. So what these are called, I'm going to do a proper video on this one day, and I'll show you. But these here you buy at Jayco, and they are speed fit, same as these fittings. I'll go and show you these fittings shortly. So these are far out. So this is called a speed fit, 12 by 1.7 PE, KB, EU, whatever, opaque. 95 degrees Celsius, there we are. Not 100 degrees, it'll handle 95 degrees Celsius, okay? Whereas these ones here, the common ones that I see, you take your vehicle into these expensive places where you're relying on their judgment. I'm not knocking anyone, but I think they need to do more research on these into the pipes. And they are using these that are not UV safe, and they're not designed to handle temperatures above 65 degrees, and virtually they just break down after a while as well. So these are generally used on these type of fittings. So these are the common ones. If you go to Rotec Marine, they only sell this. You cannot buy these speed fit fittings with that lock in them, where it twists and locks at your Rotec Marine. You can only buy these at your good caravan outlets, okay? Where you go to your caravan outlets, they are starting to supply their caravans and that. They are starting to use these type of what you call John Guest speed fit fittings. They cost a bit more than your regular ones, but they're a lot more secure fitting. And in fact, with these regular ones, you can buy additional locks and all that to go on here. By the time you pay for all that, to make sure they don't, come off so easy. So you've got these sleeves that go in there, and you can buy another lock that goes over the top. By the time you buy that, you're virtually paying the same price of these more expensive ones, which are a lot more better quality, have more heavy duty built, more UV proof, etc. So you can see how I lock that in now. Now to release that, I just push in on this sleeve and that just slides out like so. Now these are the common ones that these professional installers are using in your caravans. Well, not so much in your caravans, particularly the newer ones, but depends where you buy your caravan from, I suppose. What pressure I'm running my pump. I don't know what the PSI pressure, but it's pumping at 10 litres per minute. My pump is 10 litres per minute, and it's perfectly fine, guys. No problems at all. That's another thing. Most people tend to use 5 litres, 3.5, 4 litre, 5 litre per minute. I wasn't sure. I was worried that my Duetto hot water system, 10 litres per minute would have been too high, but nah, not at all. I contacted the manufacturers of these and I checked with them. If I use a pump that's 10 litres per minute, they said it's fine. You'll have no problems with it. And you don't either. So it's actually great to be able to, I mean, you've got to watch out when you're having your shower because it's pumping out 10 litres per minute. So usually when I have the shower, I just wet myself quick and then I wash myself out, turn it back on, and then rinse off. And I usually find that I can have a good shower for only using 5 litres of water. 55 PSI. Wow, that's a fair bit, isn't it? Well, that gives you an indication how secure these in. I cannot tell you how many of these fittings I have fitted into my system. And when I turned it on expecting to see leaks somewhere, I had no leaks at all. Nowhere. There was no leaks anywhere. And I've been testing this every day under pressure, coming out here, turning the hot water system on and off, pretending I'm having a shower outside. Got the shower hose on there, and which I'll show you in action shortly. And putting it all to use, and for days, for a while now, and it's never faltered, not one leak anywhere. So yeah, So Jayco sells these. Any real good caravan, these speed fit fittings are really good. Now you can use these. You can still use these speed fit fittings on these, on your older ones. So that still fits in there, right? And then you just turn that to lock it in place. That will not come off, guys. That is stuck there and that's secure. That will not leak. And yet, see how easy, once you know how to pull them apart, it is. So you can still use these on your standard red-blue piping. So that's the John Guest fittings. So of course you get them in T-pieces, you get them in straight pieces, you get them in pieces where it's screwing on the end. So you screw, see? These, you can buy these as sort of different sizes. Corner pieces as well. I mean, I'll show you a little bit how the plumbing is done inside, and you can see how many of these fittings I've used. You can also get them where this part here are metal. So these are like a brass with your quick fitting on the end. Yeah, Handcrafted buys fantastic fittings, Phil. Even Terry says he recommends those. Do you have these in your caravan, Terry? I never checked. I never had a look. Probably not. Don't know. If you ever change your piping later on. And to be honest, guys, I'm finding these John Guest fittings are cheaper than the proper plumbing ones you get for the houses. You do? Okay. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so, yeah, most of your better quality, good caravans have got these. But I question a lot of the installers, the professional installers there, where you take your expensive vehicles to and you trust them to do these, you know, expensive, really expensive installs, and they're not using these more secure speed fit fittings. They're using these standard ones, and then you got to buy all these additional adapters on here to lock them in place, which ends up costing more than if you just go and buy a proper one where you don't have to buy all these special adapters. And at least it's fine if you're using normal John Guest fittings on the outside of your van, as long as you've got some type of cover over it to get the UV light off it. So they're fine, but I don't recommend using their red ones for their hot water systems because they will break down very quick. And a lot of you guys, you go to very remote areas, so you don't want something that's going to potentially fail you, particularly when it comes to water. What if you're out in the middle of the Simpson Desert, or worse, and you're doing up at the Atherton Tablelands, there's that much fresh water there. But that other track you do, it's out in Western Australia where you see no water for days and days and days and days and days. You do not want to have any risk on anything failing on you, okay, with losing water. So, yeah. So be wise, check out those speed fit fittings, these bigger white ones, and as long as you connect them correctly, you'll be sure not to have any issue. And in fact, even though as good, as safe as these are, they still recommend, particularly in the UK where they're mounting them inside the houses, so they're inside the wall cavity. So once in there, you never see them again. You can actually buy these fittings. You can actually buy these fittings that slide inside here that reinforces this and makes another, gives it another, because they got O-rings inside, guys. There are O-rings in here. Can you see that? There is an O-ring there. So you can get another fitting that slides in here to secure that, to make sure it's round. And also when you fit these, if you do these yourself, it's very important that you've got a perfectly flat cut here. It's got to be perfectly cut. So you can't use a hacksaw. If you use a hacksaw and it's all jagged, you compromise the water, the seal on these dramatically. So you got to use a special, and John Guest makes them. This is their better quality one. This is their more professional one. So how it works is, far out, it's like a big spring. So it's got to be cut flat. So when you put it in here, cuts it flat, and then that's it, simple as that. And you can see how that's got a really nice fine cut with no jagged edges, nothing on there, okay? You can't have any jagged or whatever. This is an old pipe, so this is not in really good condition. This one I've actually, I don't know, I have a feeling this pipe, I actually bought this at Roadtech Marine, and they must have had it there in storage for a really long time because it's in really poor condition. So I didn't use it. I've taken it off and replaced it with that better quality one. So it was actually my local Roadtech Marine sold this. It was in very poor condition. Whereas the blue ones seem to be fine. So, yeah. So you need a proper cutter. This is the best one they've got. This one's like $67. They've got another cheaper one that's about half that price that you can use. But I knew I was going to do a lot of plumbing here. So let's show you. Oh yeah, Terry, are you still watching? Terry? You know, I told you about that fuse box. I didn't know where it was that I reckon you should get. This is it here. I found it. Eventually this one's going to go back into either my camper here or back inside my vehicle here. So this is the Blue Seas fuse box. So it's got the negative bars built into it. So I think on the top, on the top, these are all the negative points. So you get your main negative from your shunt that goes into here, and then your main positive from the positive of the battery going through a fuse that goes into here. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. There are 12 items you can run off this. These are awesome, guys. These are awesome. I think these are the better ones out. It's the Blue Seas. Let me see if I can open it up. This is the one that I was trying to look for. I wanted to show you the other day, Terry. There we go. See? Look at the qualitymanship of that. It's got a bit of weight to it too. You know, this is not going to ever burn out. This one's old. I've had this one for probably about 8-9 years. And I know back then I've spent about $65 on it, so I can't imagine what they're worth now. But it's a Blue Seas 12 outlet fuse box. So there's all the negatives. So your negative main cable goes into here, your positive goes into there, and you run all your negatives into this here. Okay, so it means then you only have to have one cable from your shunt instead of up to 12. All right, so it drops 12 down to one cable from your shunt, and then all the positives goes into here. Of course, that's from your battery, and then you run a fuse near your battery terminal for this one here, and then you got all your individual blade type fuses. As you can see, I love these. All these individual blade type fuses to use. And if you go to Roadtech Marine, you can buy a fuse package, and then it's got the cover that goes over the top to protect it. And go to Roadtech Marine, you can buy, I'll go grab it, it's in my car. I don't know how much they are. They're probably roughly about $45. you can buy these fuse kits from Roadtech Marine, and they got all different size fuses. Now, you go buy one of these, this will last you a lifetime. So I just keep that in the car all the time. And I've been using these type of fuses now for about 5-6 years, and I've only ever replaced 2 in that 5-6 years. So I'll go put this back now. So there's one spot in the vehicle where they always sit, and that's where they stay. So, yeah. Now let me show you something else, guys. I bought this recently. I got my own fuel bowser. You know when you go to the fuel stations and you got the pumps and you pump your fuel in, and when you're on the road, and how cool it'd be if you could use something like that to fill your car up out of your jerry cans, instead of buying those fillers, you know, things you screw onto the car, and then you got to pick up a heavy jerry can when you've got a bad back like mine, 20 kilos, and then to fill your car up. How cool it'd be if you could just use those fuel bowsers to fill your car up. So I've got 2 jerry cans right here. Okay, I can just drive up to the car. I can just use this fuel bowser in the car, and in no time at all, I'll get that 20 litres out of there. And this is it here, and it runs on 4 AA batteries. So it's got a pump there. All right. So that goes inside your fuel canister. And you got this here. There's your fuel bowser. So it's an on-off button there. So just turn that on. You can see it running there now. I don't want to run it dry for too long. So I've already used it, and it is freaking brilliant, guys. This thing pumps water out like you wouldn't believe, eh? Delivery volume 3.2 gallons per minute. Cost me about $40, I think it was, 45. And it's a wonder no one's asking me where I got it. I got it from Temu. Temu. I bought this from Temu. Someone wanted to know what that fuse box was called. It's a Blue Seas. Is that what it is? Blue Sea Systems. Blue Sea Systems, if you ask my opinion, are the best of these type of fuse systems you can buy. They cost more than the others, but there's a reason why, because how great they are. I've owned this one for a very long time and never had any problems with it, guys. Never had any problems with it. So these are the best without going for your... Right now I've got the Egon DC hub in there. Obviously that's better than this. That thing is absolutely amazing. But if I didn't have the Egon DC hub, I'd still be running these. So they're called Blue Sea Systems. Okay, so your professional 12 volt outlets. Yeah, that's it. Blue Sea's 12-way fuse block. Not cheap, but guys, when it comes to 12 volt stuff and it's inside your caravan or inside your vehicle, you don't want to use those really cheapy ones that can potentially melt, catch on fire and so on, like those rubber fuse holders. So yeah, so that's awesome. So I'll show you, I'll flick the camera around here and I'll show you the... So that's my 2 jerry cans full of diesel. I just pull up beside them. Let's take this off, unscrew, whack that thing in. $40, $45 or whatever, guys. from Temu. And just whack it in here. And I've already used it. And oh, let me tell you guys, it is freaking brilliant. It is freaking brilliant. It is awesome. Now, it comes with these screw-on tops, and it comes with a heap of spares. If I can open this up. Different type of ones. Unfortunately, none of these are compatible with our jerry cans. Okay, so you got all these. All right, there's that one there, and that one there. None of these screw in, but I've found it's not a problem. You just drop it in. The weight just keeps it in place. It just sits there. And then you just put the Bowser in here, turn it on, and in no time, what I tell you, it was something like 4 gallons per minute. It pumps the diesel in here. And a freaking back saver. Big time back saver. But yeah, unfortunately, none of these are compatible with our jerry can holders. But like I said, I've not found it to be a problem. So let me show you my hot water system, which is now completed. There she is. So that is a 12 volt, 240 volt hot system. You can see the 240 volt. That will take, I hope you can still hear me. That will take 10 litres of water, so it's got 10 litre storage. It'll take 10 litres of water to 70 degrees Celsius. So you can see it's on now, it's on 12 volt. Okay, so it's heating the water up there now. It's now currently 63 degrees. On 12 volt, it draws about 22 amps. Okay, now it'll take 10 litres of water from about, I don't know, 15 degrees or so to 40 degrees Celsius, hot enough for a decent shower. It'll bring it to temp in half an hour when you run it off 12 volt. So it's pretty quick. But if you run it off 240 volt, it'll bring it up to that in probably, I don't know how long, I never tested it. I know it'll take the water on 240 volt from about 15 degrees up to 70 degrees in 45 minutes. So it's a 1,000 watt unit, so it'll draw 1,000 watt out of your system on 240 volt. And I think if I remember right, it's around about 300 watts on 12 volt. Which equates to about, it's got to draw about 22 amps, okay, and 12 volts when it's running. But, so, in other words, what that means, if you're using only 13 amps to power out of your battery, you can bring 10 litres of water up to shower temperature, really nice warm shower temperature, for only around 12 amps. I reckon that's freaking good, guys. And if you're in a really big hurry, you've run out of hot water, you just plug that into 240 volt. And it probably only take you 5 minutes to bring it up to that temp. 5-10 minutes probably to bring it up to temp. So yeah, but the thing is, when you got it on 70 volts and you use a mixer, then, you know, it mixes the cold with the hot. And then instead of only having 10 litres of shower water, you got over 20 litres of shower water to shower. And that's where this comes in. The mixer. Can you see that? That's the mixer. So whatever so you got the hot water outlet. That's those John Guest fittings with the metal brass fittings on there I told you about. So you got the hot water outlet running up to here, running into the hot water input of the mixer. You got another outlet there, which that runs through here. So that white one goes out there underneath the camper and goes back to the middle where the kitchen is. So I've got hot water that goes into my kitchen sink. Still can't believe I've got a kitchen sink in my camper. So that's how that's wired. So there's your hot water mixer. Whatever I set that at is the temperature of the water will come out through here, out here, and I've got a quick fitting over here. Okay, like a regular hose push fitting, except this one's much better high quality. These high couplers, Nido fittings, are the best you can get, and they won't rust. And that comes out, so you can see there's the cold water input. So the cold water input's coming in through there. So with the cold water input, you can see there, it's behind the hot water one. That's it there. So it's got a T-piece here. So it's got a T-piece that runs through there. And that's that blue one there that goes into the bottom. So you've got cold water that fills this. So as you're using this, the water gets pumped back into here. So as the water drops down, so once it gets to temp, whatever you set temp you want to set this to, once it gets to temp, so it's thermostatic, I don't know what the word, thermostatically controlled. I can't say it. It then shuts off, and if you use the water, as it pumps the cold water in, and then it starts to heat up again. Otherwise, with this, I've been testing, because these are really well insulated as well. So I've got a real thick polyurethane insulation with them. And I think they've got a big thick foam insulation inside there as well, covering that tank. And what happens is, I think you just heard it just switched off. Yeah, it did too. It's got the temp. I got it set to 65 degrees Celsius. It just reached 65 now. So it's just switched off. I can set it up to 70. So, yeah. So that's the mixer I've used. Now, a lot of these professional installers are using these mixers. That one there, that's worth they're charging $150 for that. And I bought that one on eBay for $37. Now it's good, but there is just one issue with it I'm finding. And whether it's just because it's a cheap eBay China one. Initially, when the first bout of water, when you first turn it on, the first bout of water comes through, for about a second, it comes through the hot water first before it mixes with the cold. So each time you turn this off, you've got to be very careful, because you could have potentially 70 degrees for water hit you for 1 second, which is a problem. So for that reason, I might going to ditch away with this cheap China one and buy the better one that they are using for $150, because I've seen many reviews on that one and not one person has complained about this issue. But I'm finding that now there is ways to overcome it. You can turn the hot water on, wait till this bit of water pumps through out the line. You got 70 degrees water coming out, just stand aside. Then once it's gone through, you'll find then the water will come out at that set temperature for a long time. I've tried it, and it maintains that temperature. But as soon as you turn it off and then turn it back on, you got about 1 second of hot water comes through here first before it mixes with the cold. Now you can set this a maximum of 40 degrees Celsius, and you will not have that issue, or you could set it at like maximum 45 or 50. So when that hot burst of water comes through, it basically doesn't scald you. Well, it doesn't scald you, but believe me, it's freaking hot. 70 degrees Celsius water on your bare skin is not fun, guys. But what you do is just set this to 40 degrees Celsius, and then you'll have 10 litres of water you can shower with, which is more than enough. Otherwise, I'm going to do some research. So I don't recommend these cheap Chinese ones, the $37 ones, for that reason. Especially if you've got kids and you haven't showered, and you know, they don't understand. They're young, they're excited, they've been on the beach mucking around, even as many times as you tell them, you know, turn the hot water on, wait till hot water comes out first, then go in. No, they won't remember, and then they'll end up, you hear kids screaming, the second of 70 degree water hitting them. So my advice is to set it at maximum 40, 45 so they don't get scalded. And then when it's your turn to have a shower, it doesn't take long to heat up enough water at 40 degrees to have your own shower. Otherwise, invest in the better quality ones where I'm sure they don't have that issue, because I've never heard anyone. But I'm going to look into it and make sure, and if that's the case, then I will swap this over for a better quality one. Otherwise, you can buy those caravan mixers and mount them in here, like the mixers you got in your own house. Okay. Problem with them, I can't see they're going to work well, because the way this works, you got hot water coming out there, you got cold water coming pumping in as you're using this. So the more you use this, the cooler that water's going to get. So then what happens is this mixer then overrides that, will pump more of the hot water through in than the cold water to keep it at that 40 degrees Celsius. Whereas if you've got a mixer here and you set it when you first turn on at the right temperature, well then as you're taking the shower, as this water cools down, then you're only going to have cool water coming out here. And then you got a shower. I mean, just look at how long the hose is here to this shower. You're running the shower way out here somewhere. Then what are you going to do? You can't reach over to adjust the mixer. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work, guys. It'll work perfectly fine for your kitchen, the kitchen sink. No problems at all, but not for the shower. So you really do have to use one of these. But I don't recommend a cheap Chinese one, because it's allowing a second of hot water coming through here. And let me tell you, 70 degrees Celsius on your skin feels like your skin is burning, guys. It's freaking hot. It's freaking hot. So that's got to go. Or at least what I'll do is run this to 40 degrees Celsius and have me shower. And if I need any more hot water, then I'll just leave it turned on and build the temperature up for washing the dishes and so on. And that's not really a problem. But the beauty with this, if you set it to up to its maximum 70 degrees Celsius, then and turn it off around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, even with these cooler nights that we're having now, I'll get up in the morning and that water is still at 40 degrees Celsius. I could get up in the morning and have a shower and I've still got 10 litres of water at 40 degrees Celsius, about 12, 13, 14, 15, about 16, 17 hours, 18 hours after I've turned that off. So that's how well it insulates. Even in winter here, it's only losing about 20 degrees Celsius in almost a day, in about a day. So it really holds the temperature really well. And that's how a lot of people use this. A lot of people use these in their vehicles. Andrew St. Pierre White, this is the setup he's got in his vehicle. It's a much more simplified version than what he's got in his. I'm only using the one pump. He's got about 2 or 3 pumps running. It's only got the one pump running on this. And works perfectly. I mean, it's awesome, guys. It's absolutely freaking awesome, eh? It's better than I thought it'd be. Absolutely awesome. So, yeah. No, I can't. See, that's an on-off switch for the... Oops, hang on. That's the on-off switch for the 12-volt side. So, and that's your 240 volt. So once you turn it on 240 volt will override the 12 volt. And once you unplug it from 240 volt, then the 12 volt comes on. Hence why you've got to have a separate switch to turn it off properly. So that's me switch. So I use to switch it on and off. In fact, I'll turn it off shortly. But I'll show you. This is a shower hose. I'll show you the good pressure that comes out of this. And this water. So you can see the nice pressure now. There we are. Wow, there's that little bit of hot water coming through there. Now it's at 40 degrees. Okay. So I'll turn it off again. Now I'll turn it back on. Nice temperature, but wait for this. Wait this. Whoa, there it is. That's it. I had to move my finger away there. That's it. That is very, very... I couldn't hold my finger in there. So if you've got a kid having a shower and that blast of 70 degrees water hits you, yeah, no good, guys. So take my advice. Don't get the cheap eBay ones. It's probably a reason why the other ones are more expensive. So, yeah. Any questions? How many people we got watching? Oh, 28. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, guys, I just love it. I mean, when I pull up... Oh, that's how a lot of people will use these systems, okay, is they have it turned on while they're driving because they hold the heat for so long. So if you haven't got a huge battery bank and you're travelling around Australia, a lot of people put these in the caravans. Heaps of people are putting these in. And... because there's no plumbing involved and so on. It's a lot more simpler than, well, there is plumbing. What I mean to say, there's no gas plumbing involved. So they're cheaper and easier to fit in. You can do it yourself. No worries, Jack Turtle. See you later. Thanks for dropping by and watching me video. So I'm going to do some videos on this. I'm planning to go away camping midweek at a really nice campground nearby, and I'm going to bring all my good cameras and I'm going to just spend about 2 days just filming videos for my YouTube channel. I'll have videos showing demonstrations on setting this camper trailer up. I'll have a video demonstrating on dismantling it. I'll have video demonstrating on setting up the different awnings. This is the main awning that goes off the side where I can put all the walls on up there. I'll have videos on that. And I'll have videos, I'll do a video on the plumbing, all this here. On the electrical, I've only got a very simple electrical setup in here. I'm still using the original batteries that this... Oh, bugger, that just unplugged. Alright, just let me go turn the... I just got the battery on charge. Let me go turn that off and I'll plug that back in later. So I just got a simple setup here. I've still got the original lead crystal batteries in there. And you can see... So my main water tank's 47%, 40% full. And battery's on 13.5 volts. 2 lead crystal, 100 amp hour lead crystals. I'd imagine they're probably original batteries. So probably 6 years old. Water filler. Input, output, 12 volt. Anderson plug. 2 water tanks, 120 litre stainless tank on the bottom, 180 litre stainless tank over there as well. In here, I'm going to install a diesel heater in there. I'm tossing up whether to get a 2 kilowatt or a 5 kilowatt. I don't know yet. Of course, you can see poles in there. Whatever accessories you want to. This top compartment is accessible from the inside, so this would be a good place to put my clothes in there. This here is another storage. It's got the pull out, you can see here, pull out slide here. Got my toilet, got a couple of solar panels, got extension lead, power lead, got one of these aluminium boxes. I'm going to do away with this, I don't need it. Yeah. So, and then on this side, as you know, not enough room, I can't really get down there. Got the fridge there, got the kitchen there, and then I've got more. Beside the kitchen, there's also pantries and drawers there. The kitchen, and then I've got the little condiment thing, and then another cabinet down the end for the pantry. So, and then I've also got more storage inside under the seats. So plenty of storage. So it's brilliant, man. Okay. Oh, hang on, I'll show you this. I've got this external monitor too for the hot water system. So with this, you can see it's at 64 degrees Celsius. You can set whatever temperature you want to have through this here. Now I could turn that off now and I'll get up in the morning and still be able to have a hot shower. I think that is brilliant. So, absolutely brilliant. So that's that thing for cutting these hoses here. I've made a bit of a mess in the garage now. I'm going to have to pack it away. It's starting to cool down a bit now. You reckon mess? Have a look at that for a mess inside my car. How crazy is that? And it's my 12-volt system. Just keeps performing flawlessly. This system would be friggin' awesome inside that camper trailer. Is this still charging? Looks like it's fully charged. Alright, I'm going to start doing some filming tomorrow. Because I had a company contact me a couple of weeks ago, or about a week ago. I wanted to know if they could send me one of their dash cams. It's got a rear camera on the back as well. It's got 3 cameras. And do reviews on it. I said, yep. So they want an unboxing video. They want a video of me installing it, and a video of me setting it up, and a video of me using it on the road. So I'm going to start, only just arrived today, but I'm going to start filming the unboxing tomorrow. So getting cameras ready today, getting all the batteries charged on the cameras. It's been a while since I used the cameras. So, let me turn this off. That's all I have to do. When I want hot water, all I got to do is walk over here and hit a switch. I got no freaking Julka shower things that I have to worry about, taking up storage. And nicely secured inside. Oops, hang on. Might as well show you what I'm doing. Just latching these down and nicely secured inside the front toolbox here. And just go and turn the pump off. Turn the pump off. Now let me put you here. And I'm just going to plug this charger back in. Okay. So I got this 240 volt charger in here, but they didn't put an input, AC input on the camper for whatever reason. I've got no idea. One day I've got to get one mounted somewhere here so I don't have to have this partially open all the time when I want to charge the battery. It's just not set up properly. There we go. So, which is no good. I mean, at night time, I can't leave this on charge all night long because it rains, water will just go in there. So it's not covered. So it's not waterproof. So you got to unplug it. We just put a AC fitting in here, you know, like I have on my vehicle. You don't have that issue. So I got to get an electrician to do that one day. Wouldn't take much. Just go uptown and drill a hole here somewhere. And yep, that'll work right, just right there. Put an input, AC input, direct to the AC charger. And unfortunately, you've got to get an electrician to do that. And just plug it in. I know a very good electrician that could do that for me. That I might be seeing him on the weekend sometime. He's probably on here watching now. So if you're watching, you know who you are. I'll go uptown and buy a input. If you could, man, it'll take you like literally 2 minutes for you to wire that in. So there she is, my camper. So even with the things turned off, the thing is still pressurized. I can still see. I'll just get the pressure, and then when you finish, what I like this, it's lockable. Just push that out. Look at that. See? How cool that fitting in. Push it in, lock it in place. Does not leak. The best ones out. Not cheap, not easy to find. I don't know if you can read that. But it's, what is it? A high, made in Japan. High coupler something. Again, it is what the professionals generally use, where you take your vehicles that costs. Mark, you missed Phil's nude run in the shower. Yeah, I demonstrated the hot water system shower. How long we've been on for? 69 minutes. Well, that might do. I may call it at that. Oh, geez, I need a drink now. I've been talking so much. So thanks for joining in, guys. It's awesome. If I got any nice yummy drinks in here, no, but I see some chocolate. Chocolate. Ooh. Chocolate. Oh, chocolate. Oh. How much is my camper worth? Oh, I don't know. This thing here, now I've rectified all the issues that I had with it. I reckon it'd be worth 15 grand at least, probably more. I bought it for 10,000 cash. So it was a bargain. A real bargain. But I had to replace all the wiring. I had to replace all the water pipes. Re-grease, change some fittings. Fix all the leaks. Like I said, the guy who owned it before, they never did any maintenance on this. They never looked after it. Bit of a disgrace. Very poor. I hope they're not watching this. But you could have made some, if you are, you could have made some effort in maintaining this thing, eh? You would have sold it for a lot more money than what you did, but good for me. Worked out great for me because that's all my budget was at the time. But she's all good now. She's ready to go camping. She's in mint condition. I changed the bearings the other day to the Japanese wheel bearings. What a shit of a job that is to do. Never going to do that again. I'll just take it uptown and get it done next time. Yeah. She's all ready. Any more questions before I go? You can see my home. Any more questions, guys? Yep. Agree, someone commented some people don't look after their stuff. Man, guys, you should have seen the wiring on this. Holy shit. You know, for example, here's an example. When I was checking over the wiring, the setup and all that, how this was wired, they put this in a comfy spot for you. When I set up the wiring on this, hang on, just grab a drink. I'm amazed everything was still working. When I checked properly, I noticed all the on the negatives, all the cables, all the lugs on the negative were loose. I thought, oh shit. Oh well, it must have just worn loose. I'm driving on the highway or something, wasn't tightened down enough. So I grabbed the spanner, tried to tighten it. It was already tight, and yet all the lugs are still loose. So I'm surprised the fridge was still working. I'm surprised it was still charging. There would have been a lot of resistance there, heat going through that connection, because of how loose it was. You could grab it and move it. And I checked, and the bolt they used for the battery was too long. They didn't realise it. So I don't know how long it's been like that. I thought, holy shit. So I contacted Modcon. I said, mate, surely you don't, who does the wiring on these? Are these done in China? And he says, no, we do the wiring after these were made, the body's the frame, and then they did the suspension, the wiring and everything. You see, they used to make these in Australia, but like all the other manufacturers, moved the part of the plant overseas in China because of the costs involved in manufacturing in Australia. So they started making the frame, and the body was made in China, and they brought it over here and they put the suspension and the water and electrical all set up. So I showed him the way this was set up, and he told me, nah, that is a mess, mate. That is really bad. He says, we don't have nothing leaves our factory like that. He said, we don't put that wire there. We don't do this. We don't do that. So he said, that's a backyarder's dodgy job. So, yeah. So, unbelievable. So they use these bolts that are too long, and they didn't realise it. And there was about 2 out of the 4 bolts that were like that, because there's 2 batteries connected in parallel. The batteries are connected in parallel with cables that was as thin as a pencil, and I had a 1500 watt inverter connected to this thing. A 1500 watt inverter with cables no thicker than a pencil. Oh my God. It's not the only time I've seen it, guys. I've seen it on other caravans that come from China. I've seen it on other camper trailers that come from China. That's the scary part. It's not the only time I've seen it. I've seen it quite a fair bit. And it's friggin' scary, guys. It's friggin' scary. It can be so dangerous. It's all safe now. It's all done properly now. No issues there anymore. So, disgrace. Whoever the prior owners were to this, kids has no idea. Should never have touched it. If you don't know how to work at 12 volts, never have touched it. 1500 watt inverter connected with cables that's no thicker than a pencil, including the batteries that were parallel together. The cables are so thin, and they're running a 1500 watt. Oh, that would have got so hot. So hot. And I think the fuse, they're running those type of fuse I hated. And I think it was a 300 amp fuse they had on the thing, on cables that were only the thickness of a pencil. And they had a 300 amp fuse. I still got it here. Let me see if I can find it, just confirm. I'm pretty sure it was a 300 amp fuse. Oh, I might have already thrown it away. Oh my God, guys. Seriously. If you don't know anything about 12 volt or setting these up, don't do it. It's a fire hazard. It's a risk. It's fucking one of the worst things I've ever seen to set up on this. Oh, I know it's in here somewhere. It's so dark in the shed. Is this it? Yeah, it is. Oh well. Let me change that. It's a 200 amp fuse. But look at the rust on it. Look at it. And they had cables connected to this. They were only as thick as a pencil. And it was rusted. It had water through it at some stage. Look at it. So what that means is this would not have protected, if anything should go wrong, this would not have protected the wires. The wires would have burnt out and caught on fire before this would have tripped. Because the 12 volt cables running the thing will not handle 200 amps going through it. Very, very dangerous setup to do it like that. So please guys, don't touch these things if you don't know what you're doing. Fucking disgrace. Lucky this thing came in my hands. At least now she's safe now. She's safe to use, safe to go take camping. I'm testing it all, testing everything before I go camping again. Testing the batteries, make sure they're all good. My funds are really low at the moment now. If I had the money, I'd buy a diesel heater now and put that in and replace those batteries. But I can't afford to at this stage. I'm going to have to wait. So, but hey, I've got an awesome setup. I've got an awesome setup inside here, guys. I can always plug this into my camper trailer and run through that. So it doesn't really matter if the battery's not in pristine condition at this stage, because I can just plug into my Victron gear. I do it at home when the power goes out. Sometimes I drive the car at the back of the house and plug in my Victron gear into the house and run the house off it. I've done that when the power goes out. Whether I relocate that into this camper one day, I don't know. I don't know. I might, but to be honest, I don't think I need to. I'm only going to keep the setup on this camper trailer simple. I've got no plans. I don't need to have two inverters. I've got an awesome good multi-plus inverter in this thing here that I can use if I want to run anything 240. So, yeah. Probably just one day buy a King's lithium battery, a cheap King's lithium battery, put in here enough just to run the fridge, the LED lights, and charge me phones. It's really all I need to do here. Oh, and to run the hot water system as well. And then I can just plug it into this one here and charge it off this. And I can go buy a nice big household solar panel on the top here. It's about 400 watts, high voltage panel. And that will keep that battery charged all the time, and I won't have to carry any additional solar panels with me. So that's a beauty if I stick with this setup. So one day I might just put, I don't know, it'd be nice to have just a simple Victron setup in here as well. And I don't know, I should hit Victron up one day, see if they can help me out with some gear, and I do reviews on it. They seem to be giving a lot of influencers a lot of gear of late. So I should hit them up and put a little small, simple, little tiny Victron setup in here inside the camper. Be friggin' awesome. Love to get another Powerpole battery and put in here, but I can't afford that at this stage. So unfortunately, Paul, I just can't afford one. So there you go. So, some of the things I had to do to get this back up to SMIC condition. And it's virtually a brand new condition right now. Very clean, tidy, beautiful, looks brand new. Take it out the front, looks awesome. Canvas is, some of the canvas has never been used. The walls were still sealed inside the original packaging. Never used. Some flooring, the skirts that go along the side here, you can tell they've never used them, they've never put them on, never used. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. I just didn't do any maintenance on it. So, but I'm confident now I could take this up to Cape York and back and know I won't have any issues. So, yeah. And it's built for it. The shockies all seem to be in good nick. I think I finally found the shockies that are, there's some ECS shockies that are compatible with these at about 135 pop. There's 4 shockies in here. If I ever need to replace them. But there's no indications of any wear or anything on those shockies. So I think they've still got good life left in them, which is good. They've got the Japanese bearings in it now. So that's going to be good for a long time now. That's another thing too. Looks like the bearings are done not long before I bought this, because well, at least the grease all looked like it was fresh new grease. But the wheel on this side, and I thought, I thought so. I was driving along at the highway and I looked at it and I'm thinking, geez, that wheel looks like it's shaking, it's wobbling. And I thought, nah, must be just a reflection, of the road with the lettering, the white lettering on it, thinking. But yeah, I should have checked my hunch. I should have jacked it up, because when I jacked it up to change the bearings on it, the wheel was loose. It was loose. So whoever done the bearings before didn't adjust it properly. Looks like they were only just done. So it wore out the bearings on the inside, and the sleeve, it was all worn out in one spot. So so I went uptown and got the Japanese bearings, and I've adjusted it properly now. But it's a shit job to do, and I won't do it again. I'll just jack it up, take the wheel off, take the hub off, and bring it in town. I did that. Eventually I couldn't get one of the cups out, so I just took it uptown, and they only charged me $20 to knock it out and put the new bearings in, the new cups in, and they just cashed $20. So yeah, I'll just do that from now on. It's bloody pain trying to knock them out when you haven't got the tools. To sitting here for about 1 freaking hour trying to knock one out, eh? Couldn't get the bloody thing out. So I thought, bugger this. I took it uptown, thinking, whoa, what are they going to charge? Are they going to charge $100? Oh, no, you got cash? I said, yeah, $20 a do. Oh, I was so happy. I should have did that hours before. I'm sitting here for like an hour or two trying to knock the freaking thing out. I've just been a bit frustrated of late, guys. I've just been a very frustrated person. Just things that people do just frustrate the shit out of me, and I've been a very frustrated person. I need to go away camping and have a good time. So yeah. Oh well, it's fun chatting with you. How many have we got on? 20 at the moment. Wow. Would love to be able to have it like Bucks one day and have about 120 plus people on. That would be awesome. We could sit here for hours just answering questions. So how cool would that be? Oh well, I don't know what time it is. Looks like it's starting to get a little bit dark. Oh my gosh, the sun is starting to set. I can see purple, orangey, maroony colours. Maroon! Oh, in the State of Origin on tonight? Is that on tonight or next week? Oh, Queenslander! Guys, I'm going to have to go and cook some tea and go have a shower. It's a bit ready to watch the State of Origin. Go Queensland. I somehow think they're not going to win tonight, but I don't even know where they're playing. So, but isn't that on tonight? So, all right, I'm going to call it quits now. So thanks for joining in, guys. Hopefully you've learned a bit there on some of the stuff that I've been working on over the past month. I pretty much finished with the camper. She's ready to go. Only a few minor things just got to change. Add an input for the 240 volts so I can leave it plugged in at night without worrying about rain getting in. What a stupid idea having to have that door open. I can see why these have probably got that stupid freaking fuse thing that I showed you. I must have put it back there. It's all rusted. I can understand why. They probably had the door open while it was raining, charging the thing, and rain just went inside. There's a freaking 240 volt charger sitting in there. Goodness me, talk about danger. Oh God, it just frustrates me when people do that. Okay guys, I'm going to go now. So thanks for joining in. And I shall catch you all next time. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I love the camper too. Love it, love it. It's actually been enjoyable working on it, to be honest. Although the old body's not thinking the same. I had to take literally the past week just resting, recovering from all the work and crawling around underneath and oh my gosh. It's been a big job, but she's worth it now. It's increased the value of this thing enormously. So it's safe to use now. And that's what I wanted to do. It's very clean. Love it. Very happy with it. By the way, for those who are watching, you're watching this video later on, if you want to know more about this camper, my mate Terry G, did film a video interviewing me the last time I went camping with him. I went camping with him and had this on. And he's filmed a video that I think it goes for about 40 minutes or something, Terry. And I've thoroughly gone over this whole camper. So go to his channel and watch the video there. He released it yesterday and I think it's already had something like 1,000 views or something, or close to it. I don't know whether it's got to thousands, probably up to 1,000 views by now. So go and check that out on Terry's channel. And until next time, guys, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to get stuck into some filming with a dash cam. And after that, within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to start filming. I could do these videos at home, but I thought I'll just wait till I go camping somewhere really nice environment, midweek, there's not many people around, just on my own, and just spend 2 days just full on filming. And then come home and spend the next couple of weeks editing it all. And then up on my YouTube channel, so get some regular videos going back on to my, yeah, I've got to get tea on, Luke, before my mum comes out here screaming. I think it won't be too far away. Luckily, last night I bought Pizza Hut pizzas and we've still got leftover, so I'm just going to reheat the pizzas. So once I go in the house, it won't take me 5-10 minutes and we'll be able to start eating. So, but I want to get that done and have a shower and sit down and relax and watch Queensland thrash the Blues tonight. If I'm right. Isn't it State of Origin on tonight? Sure it is. All right. I'm going to go now. See you till next time, eh? Bye. Thanks for joining in. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes. Bye.